With each passing day, it seems that the significance of having a career is dwindling. It's almost as if you need to be proficient in several different skill sets that have no relation to one another, or at least have a correlation with one another, to get to the point in which you'll actually be considered as someone that is capable. And especially if you're an entrepreneur or trying to be an entrepreneur nowadays, you've got to know so many different aspects of the business in itself to even get to a place where you can say, okay, I can work with this. And I've failed so many times with business ideas or business except like just really anything to do with business. I failed a lot with. Even with my jobs and the day jobs that I've had, I've never really been like a person that thought to myself, okay, I'm just going to do the bare minimum. I always went above and beyond, and guess what? I always paid for it. I was never paid for it. I had to pay for that. I always paid to go above and beyond, because when I wasn't expected, or when I was going above and beyond, I was expected to continue that. And if I didn't, then there would be hell to pay on the other side. Because a lot of the times, what you have to really just accept as part of the corporate world, or just the real world that we live in, is that you'll notice that the people that are the most competent, that have a lot of skills, they're the ones that are going to be having a target on their backs. And in today's day and age, you have to know everything in order to just be relevant and consistent. Otherwise, it's not going to go very well. One of the reasons why this is the case, sorry guys, I just got done at the gym. I'm going to get some water here. One of the reasons why the career path is so almost insignificant nowadays is because there's little incentive to do one thing for the rest of our lives. And remember, careers have only been around for 200 years maybe, since the Industrial Revolution. And other than that, people had professions of some kind, but they were more professions that they were passed down through their family, like a shepherd or a carpenter, or a stone layer, bricklayer. These things, like there were certain things that were passed down through the family. And that's what it's really about, even to this day, is creating a family legacy above family leisure, right? But so many people don't know how to do that. And especially with YouTube nowadays, there was once a time, I remember, when you could learn anything from YouTube, and you still can, don't get me wrong, like you can still learn anything from YouTube, but it's almost like YouTube has become so saturated with, I don't even want to use the word misinformation, but it's like a lot of people think that they're experts in things that they're just not experts in. And it's kind of hard to discern sometimes whether or not somebody's actually been through it or not, because free information is free for a reason. And people that see free information oftentimes don't trust it. And yet when you say, well, you have to pay for that information, then they'll say you're a scammer. like it just doesn't make sense. But here's something to think about. Why should somebody that has spent years learning their craft, learning their profession, why should they just give the information to you for free? This is one of the reasons why I do what I do. I do spiritual consultations. I have the Regal Change Academy. The reason that I have these things is because I know that I've lived through this stuff, and I know that I have knowledge and wisdom that people may find useful that they don't have, because I have had certain experiences that not a lot of people have had. One of the biggest blessings and curses of my life, I thought it was a curse for so long, but when I was young, I was molested, and I don't know how many people know that, but I was molested, and for the longest time I was so ashamed of that. I was so I didn't even want to think about it, because even thinking about it was triggering. But when I finally got to the point in which I was okay, I can move beyond this. I can accept that this was a part of my life, because I don't have to run from this darkness anymore. I don't have to run from what I thought was the worst thing in my life, because now I have legitimate experience of healing, giving myself compassion, learning my own emotions, etc., to where I have a great knowledge base and understanding of where and how to heal if you need to heal, especially from a traumatic experience like that. And in today's day and age, there's a lot of sexual trauma going on. So whenever you're going through a career, you're picking careers or you're learning things, like, I think it's good to diversify your skills, number one. And number two, have proper discernment. Listen to the people that you're actually listening to on YouTube or you're getting content from. Actually listen to what they have to say, because I've had so many people that have said one thing about my content, and then like 3 or 4 videos later, they're like, hey, you know what? I came back and I realized that I was actually convicted. That means that there was something going on with their spirit, not mine. I was aligned. I am aligned. And it's not like I hated this person for trying to challenge me. Again, I welcome that. As long as you do it respectfully, and as long as there's no ad hominems or anything like that, I have no quarrels. I have no problem. But when it comes to trying to disintegrate somebody's character, that's where I'll just block you. And I have little tolerance for that kind of stuff anymore. It's like, people will just be so quick to judge. And I get that, especially with business, right? Because YouTube, in many ways, is turning into a, how do I say this? It's like, it's not just a funnel for people anymore, right? It's not just like a funnel for people to get leads and such. It's actually becoming, for many people, a business. And one of the reasons why, I am monetized here on YouTube, but I don't actually, out of the 600 videos or something that I've had, I only have 20 doing ads during the mid-roll. And the reason for that is because I've had a lot of feedback in how ads take away from the messaging. And at the end of the day, my messages here on YouTube are about giving exactly that, a message. They're not about, it's not really about the money necessarily, because I know that the Bible says that charity will cover a multitude of sins. And so giving information and wanting to see people suffer less than necessary through that information, I see that as a form of charity in some ways. So there's some videos that I won't even monetize, because I think that it's important for people to actually just know this information. But really, at the end of the day, it's about learning how to monetize anything that you're doing. How do you monetize what you know, what you can do? What do you do in your free time apart from, if you're somebody that's made it this far in the video, you're probably somebody that at least has a bit of ambition, that at least has some kind of form of understanding of where they want to go in life. And how do you want to monetize that? How do you want to monetize your passion, right? Don't be afraid to have a business or put yourself out there. I was so afraid of, oh man, gotta get some more water here. I was so afraid of putting myself out there for so long, but God basically was telling me, don't even be afraid of that. Be afraid more of not doing it. And I was like, oh shoot, that hit heavy. And so I had to learn how to be okay with being judged by people that I didn't even know, because I don't know these people and they don't really know me, right? So don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and whatever your business that you want to do, don't be afraid to actually keep yourself going and keep yourself motivated. It's not even about motivation. I think it's about inspiration. I don't really believe in motivation. I believe in inspiration and living in spirit and truth. And if you can do those things, then you can do a lot in this life. But really though, guys, I think careers are done as of this point. Like, careers are a thing of the past, it seems. Like, you really have to know a multitude of different areas in order to just be considered. And it's so funny how you look at these job applications sometimes, and you'll see that they want like 5 years of experience for somebody right out of college or something. And even then, if you have the college degree, it's not even going to be enough for some of these people. There are so many people that I've talked to that are looking for jobs or that have looked for jobs in the past, and they saw that what they were doing, like everything that they went through with college, everything that they did was almost irrelevant, because by the time they finished college, they realized how much debt they were in, how they were told to get this to do that, how they were told to get a this to get a that. And now here they are drowning in debt, and they still can't find a job because the market is just so saturated right now. And we got our leaders in the government here in America wanting to tell us how amazing everything's going and how great it is. And it's like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Like, the stock market the other day, I don't know if anybody knows this, but this, like, some people who are paying attention probably do, but the stock market crashed more than it ever has in a long time the other day. And usually that's a sign that a recession is coming, or there's going to be a big upward spike. And so like we're at a very important turning of the tides in this day and age. As far as like politics go, I hate talking about politics, but I understand that it's actually really important to talk about. And so that's one of the reasons why I do sometimes here on this channel, is because I think it's important. But it's also important to talk about just what's going on in the daily lives of people, right? We all share this common life. And so we have to understand how to be seen and how to be heard by one another. Otherwise, we're not going to have a society to really live in. And that's one of the problems with our society, of course, is that nobody really wants to make that extra step forward. Nobody actually really wants to go forward in a place, or to a place rather, of accountability, responsibility, and genuine understanding of the principles in which we're trying to live and operate in accordance to God's laws, statutes, and commandments. People don't want to do that kind of stuff anymore. They just don't. And us people that are actually trying to stay on the righteous path, you know, you're disciplined, you're healthy, you're motivated. Again, it's like such a habit, because you hear that word all the time. Motivation, motivation, motivation. Oh, you got to stay motivated. Such an illusion. But anyway, inspiration, passion, and really commitment. Well, I think what motivation ought to be seen as, or considered as, is a commitment to something greater than yourself. You're taking charge of being committed to something greater than yourself. So with all this being said, I hope this information was useful and insightful. Be wise, be vigilant out there, and I think more godly people need to take charge of their own life. I'm expanding my branches of my own services and my business. I've opened another business recently. Like, I'm not wanting to go back ever to work for somebody else's dream when I can be building my own. And that's what I'll leave you with tonight. Peace. Till next time.